june.psb, French graphic designer and artist. I stumbled across her work on Instagram and found myself slowly becoming entangled by her dazzlingly complex compositions, falling through levels of detail into a jungle of design where the boundaries of text and texture blur together. Each work is the scene of a battlefield where elements fight against the encroaching space. I wanted to understand the creative spirit behind these arrangements, so I reached out. Okay, hey June.
Bonjour Ben.
So how did you begin graphic designing? How did you begin getting into 3D? What got you interested in this?
I decided that maybe I could, instead of practicing my passion for art after my job, art could be my job. So I started to look for schools in art, especially, and I went to a school named Lisa in France, in Paris, and it was really bad. But it made me discover Photoshop and open it for the first time ever, because I was scared before. I was like, Photoshop is so hard. How am I going to do it? So I went there and it was bad. So I stopped going. And after this, I decided to take a year off for me to concentrate on what I wanted to really do. And I noticed that I loved going on Photoshop. I started to learn new things, and I wanted to create things that I imagine in my head, and I couldn't draw. So I was like, okay, maybe it's time to learn a new software. And I started to learn Blender. And it was really hard at first, because I started to learn to try Blender years ago, actually, maybe 4 years ago, and I couldn't move the stupid cube in the center. So I was like, okay, this is not for me, I guess. So I gave up, and I restarted, and obviously, I started with the donut tutorial from Blender Guru. I guess a lot of people started there. I don't really know what to think about this series, but I guess it's a really good start if you absolutely don't know anything like I did. And that's why I started this. Also, to say, I really liked collage when I was little, and my mom really liked collage too. She scrapped magazine pages and stick them together, and I was like, I hate cutting pages over and over again. I think Photoshop is a kind of like collage, but with everything you have in mind. Text, PNGs, whatever. Okay, so my next question is, how would you describe your art style? Okay, so I don't really know. A lot of people asked me this question, and some people told me that I use a lot of maximalism in my art, like a lot of things. There's a lot of details, a lot of text, a lot of PNGs, a lot of textures. I really love to put text in my pieces. And a lot of details too. I think it's beautiful. I don't hate, but I'm almost scared of empty space. I think that's how do you say? I check and I tell you. That's a flaw. I think that's the right word. That's kind of a flaw, I think. Actually. I'm not really a graphic designer. I'm more of a graphic artist. So there's that. And I think empty space is seen, as it should, as a really important piece of a piece. I think the Latin term could could be horror vacui. And that's an interesting term I learned some days ago, and I think it sticks with me a lot and explains a lot of things. I have a lot of things to say, so that can explain also why there's a lot of text. I think that's it. I don't really know how to describe it. Yeah, voila. Also, I speak a lot. I don't know why. I really thought that would be like 1 minute long, but I can't stop talking. But I just remembered that one time when I was at Lisa, one of my teachers told us to use PNGs for text, for a movie poster that we invented. And I was like, that's lame as...
Bad.
Like, why should I use a PNG, a text PNG? Like, is that what design is? Like, I can't even make my own text. And that's when I said to myself that I will never do this again. And that's maybe why I put a lot of text in my pieces. Yeah, that's probably why.
Okay, next question. Do you have a particular routine for work?
No, I don't have any particular routine. Maybe a little, but not a lot, and I should, but I hate routine and I can't keep up with a single routine. So usually I try to make at least a piece a week. So I make a piece, and usually the next morning I'm like, wow, I made this, so I deserve vacation, so I don't do anything. The next morning I'm like, maybe I should start thinking of something to do next, like tomorrow, and tomorrow I'm already stressed out, so I can't do anything. And and after there's the day after that, and the day after that, and I'm stressed out. And usually 2 days after I post, I'm like, after I make something, I'm like, yeah, I made something, that's cool. And the day after, I'm stressing. The day after that, I'm stressing. And the 2 days after that, I'm like, now you need to do something, or you left school for nothing. And you should be ashamed of yourself. So I usually do things late, and I regret it because I'm like, I could do so much more, I could do so much better, I could do everything every day, like, but I can't. And that's not something I advise anyone to do, to be honest, but that's hard. Also, I only work after 8 p.m. because before that, I can't. There's like an invisible force that tells me that I can't work when it's not night out. So, voila.
Okay, how do you avoid burnout or creative block?
I wish I could say that I meditate and everything's better, but it would be a lie. The worst thing about creating art and this kind of things is that I think in my opinion, you can't force art, you can't force inspiration, you can't force anything like that. And it's terrible because sometimes you just don't feel inspired and you can't do anything. And that's awful because you feel bad and then you don't feel like doing anything even more, and that's even worse. But I think I might have some solutions I should apply to myself for burnout. It's usually I ask someone else to, how do you say, working my computer, like pushing the button to make it work. Because I can't do it, because that's the first step. You need to break your task in small steps. And the first step is to push the button on my computer so it can work. So I ask for somebody to do it for me. And then my computer works. And I'm like, okay, well, if I don't use my computer, I'm just losing electricity. My dad is paying more because of me. So I should go on my computer. So I go on my computer, but I'm still not inspired. So I put my helmet, my helmet for sound, like with music. And I play some music. And you might think this does not work. For me, it does not work until I do it. So I put some music, I open Photoshop, that's another step. And I try things, even if I hate them. And I keep trying things, even if I hate them. And the good part is, sometimes you start to like it. But for me, one of the worst part of what I do is 90% of the time I hate the thing I'm doing. I'm starting over. 90% of the time I hate the things I'm doing until I finished it, and then I like it. But the whole process, I think it's ugly. I think it doesn't going anywhere. But in the end, it's better, and I like it, and I start to see something about it. And then I add little more details and more things to make it more pretty. But the process is kind of rewarding, and you're like, I should not have done graphic design, I have no future. And the second after, you're like, well, maybe this is going somewhere. Maybe we can work something with that. So that's my advice. You should not stop, even if you think it's bad. And you should ask for help. I ask for help to turn on my computer. But don't be hard on yourself either. Sometimes you deserve vacations.
Is there anything you're working on at the moment that we can have a preview of?
Well, I'll start over. I'm actually working on my portfolio right now. Like, it's kind of a funny exercise. I might type some design I don't like that I could send to you, because there's like 100 of things that I don't like and that I start, and then I'm like, maybe I should keep going on this one. Maybe there's something on this one. So maybe I keep working on it, but I need to. Yeah, I can send something if you'd like to see them. And maybe they're actually on the screen right now. I don't know. Maybe I already sent them to you because you wanted to see them. Maybe, yeah, voilà. C'est bon.
And finally, where can people follow you and support you?
Okay, so people can follow me and support me on Instagram mostly. That's where I post the most, and Instagram hates me, so that's a thing. And I'm everywhere. Honestly, I'm scared because Instagram hates me, and my mom said that I need to post everywhere. So I'm everywhere. Even if I don't post a lot, I'm technically everywhere. Tumblr, YouTube, no, not Twitter. Twitter is bad. Tumblr, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok. I start over. Or not, I don't know. My Instagram is june.psb. June.psb. My Instagram is june.psb. And I also have a Behance, june.psb. It's almost always june.psb. If you want to find me, I'm almost everywhere, honestly. So, yeah. On TikTok, I just need to distract myself. That was my old username, and it still is the one I choose for TikTok. So, yeah, you can follow me there. If you like, if you want. If you want to, I would love to.
And now if you just want to say any final thing, any message you want.
Yes, actually, thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time. It's my first interview ever. Like, this is stressing me out. I've been thinking about this every day. I'm actually really relieved to have done it. I honestly didn't know I was capable of doing that. Thank you so much. Really, thank you, merci beaucoup.